Hello, Dush Dush. How are you doing, Dush Dush? Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel Life Snapshot. Evelyn, Greg, and Muttley here from Australia. It is I got something to. I was wrong on something too. It's rare, but anyway, 10th of July. It's 6:40 in the PM. It's pretty cold. It's getting really cold here. 10th of July. I just had my 54th birthday on the 8th. Let's just check the weather at the moment. It is getting pretty cold at night now. Still nice during the day. It's down to about 7 degrees as it is today. We had a pretty mild winter, but anyway. So, oh yeah, and I've got to eat my words. Like, hey, how did the Blues go? Wow, in the state of origin. Now that was not expected, to say the least. So good on the Blues for winning. Well done. They really, really chewed them up and spat them out. That was very impressive at Suncorp. So yeah, that was a great game to watch. I really enjoyed that. Look, I expected the Blues to lose. By how much? That's all the reason why I wanted to watch that game. By how much? That's all I think. And I'm super impressed they won by a decent margin. Yeah, there's always controversy, but hey, that's just the name of the game. So let's get into this video I want to talk to today. I wanted to do this for a little bit, and now I'm up to it to do it. It is a basic rundown of how much it costs to live in Australia right now. Of course, things give or take depending on the value of your home, what type of car you drive, how much food you eat. All those things do come in as a variable, of course. So basically, my rundown is two people living in a house that we own, so we don't have to pay rent. Thank heavens for that. So two people living in Sydney, about 2.5 hours south of Sydney. I'm going to break down the groceries, the electricity, the rates, the water, insurance on the home. We've got two cars, so insurance and registrations on the two cars, and fuel for both cars, internet, and two phones. So basically that covers pretty much everything. So I'll put a few examples up on the screen. Bear in mind that I do have a second home, so I have to add a bit to that. But first of all, we're just going to run down everything basic. One home ownership with two people living in it. Let's go. Groceries, you're looking at about $150 a week. And I'm telling you, we're not going out and buying top shelf stuff, garbage food, candy, all that sort of stuff. $150 a week gives you pretty much the normal basics, milk, bread, a bit of chicken, your noodles, some vegetables to cook. $150 a week, that's stretching it. Probably would get away with 7 days, not much more. We wouldn't be going more than that. We'd be stretching by 6 days at $150. So, okay, I'm going to put it all up on the screen, totals as well. Electric, now energy in Australia just goes up and up and up. We've got these dickhead politicians who are just green crazy, and it's not doing any good for anybody, and it's certainly not doing good for our back pocket. So we get charged an absolute bucket load for energy. I have a 24 panel system with a inverter, and there's only two of us here, and we really try hard. I barely put the aircon on. I maybe put the aircon on 3 or 4 times in a summer when the sun's out, so it's not using any energy. And during winter, if the sun's out and it's a very cold day, we'll put the heat on, and that's maybe 1 or 2 days. And we usually just throw a hoodie on or something to keep warm. So electricity, we try our hardest, but mate, we get burnt. It works out to be about $5.99, $6 a day. And that is, like I said, really, really trying our hardest not to use up any energy where we can. So that's there it is. There's the total. the rates, this house is the house. The way the rates work here in Australia is the land rates. It's not the house as well, so it's just how much the land is worth. This land here, on what we're sitting on right now, they reckon it's worth 1.2.5 million. It's a bit of a debatable subject, but there's the rates. It's about 2,790. This is all per year. So water, I want to show you an example with the water here. It's a joke. Water is absolute joke. We pay about, I would say it's off the top of my head, about 1,200 to between 1,200 and $1,300 just for the connection. Not even turn a tap on. We pay that for the fee, service fee, for the privilege of having, water coming to our house. Not even turn a tap on. Then you turn a tap on and you get charged per kilojoule, is it? Whatever it is, whatever is 1,000 litres or something. So if you look at that example and you look how much there is, that little thing above that says, I think $80. I'm just going off the top of my head because I've got to edit the video. That's the water usage. Those other two charges down the bottom, that's before you even turn a tap on. Okay, so just remember that. So we're getting charged probably about 1,000, between 1,200, 1,300 just for the privilege of being connected to the water. And then on top of that is our actual water usage. So you're probably looking at around $300 water usage and about 1,300 just for connection. So I'm sure it's different in other states, but yeah, just so you get an idea. Insurance on the house, I haven't got a thing. I just couldn't be bothered. I paid 1,100 and something. This house is insured for about 800,000, I think, replacement. It's about 800, just under. I think it's 780 or 790, something like that. So yeah, so that was $1,100, something like that. So yeah, that's insurance. And now we'll move on to the cars. We've got two cars now. They're a little bit different. Mine's 2.2 ton. Evelyn's is probably about 1.2 ton. Hers is a small to medium sized vehicle. Mine's a truck utility. So I've just put this as total. So the green slips, which is compulsory here, that's it. Green slips here. If you have an accident, that means if you hurt somebody, they don't need insurance. Your green slip insurance in a motor vehicle accident will cover that. So that is compulsory. So those two for the two cars. Mine's about, I think 400. It's there, 443 because I got no points. I haven't been done for speeding or anything like that. So if you get in trouble and get road infringement or fined or something like that, especially speeding, that bumps up to about $660. And then there's Evelyn's car, which is about roughly the same because she is classed as, well, she's just going into her black license. She was on P, provisional driver. So that's about $900. And then we got the two regos. My rego's about, I can't remember, $600 and something dollars. And Evelyn's is about $500. So there's $1,100. This is per year again. Then we've got Evelyn's car, we don't fully insure it. It only sits in the garage and she barely drives it. She drives it like 6 to 8 weeks of the year and she drives it 6.5 kilometers. So putting full insurance on that vehicle is, it's not worth it. So we just got one for the Colorado, which we drive all the time and we go on trips and stuff like that. So that's fully insured. That's about $1,000 just under. Then we've got the fuel for the both cars. So now this is where the difference is to probably a lot of people. I don't do much A and B driving. I don't drive to work. I don't work. I'm at home. So I don't have to drive the kids either. I don't have to do all that sort of stuff. So we barely drive. When we do go on long trips back up to Sydney or something like that. But I've really got it pretty sussed out. Like I said, Evelyn, luckily to drive, like we just start her car and just take it for a drive for the run to run it in. And then there's my car, but we can average it for about $3,000 a year, which is not too bad. Most people, would be $100, $150 easy a year. So just remember that. I'm retired. I don't drive much. So we have a very, very low fuel bill, but it still works out to be $3,000 a year. So, it's a chunk of change, right? Then we've got the internet. Now we're with Starlink down here. It is absolutely hopeless. Our NBN, it is a joke. If we do an upload of, say, a 10-minute video to YouTube, it takes 8 hours. It's crazy. It's useless. So NBN is absolute garbage. So we're happy to pay the extra, and we do Starlink, which is awesome. 10-minute video uploading takes 2 minutes, so we are happy to pay the extra. That works out to be about $150 a month. So that's about $1,800 a year. And then we've got the two phones. The two phones, again, sometimes my phone will just run out of data credit, and I don't have to. We've got the Starlink. It runs off that, so we don't care unless we leave. So sometimes I can just go 6 to 8 weeks without having any need to recharge my phone data-wise. So that works out to be, with the two phones, about $500 a year. So all that we said is around $23,870, give or take a couple of dollars. That's what you've got to come up with if you want to live here in Australia. Now, someone coming here recently, you're not going to be owning a home. You got to add easily another 30 to 40K a year if you want to live in a 2-bedroom apartment rent. Okay, you want to live in a house, you got to add $55,000, $60,000 a year. Just remember that, okay? So anyone who's coming here wanting to live and start a new life and everything, most welcome to come here. But you're going to have to come up with around roughly $70,000 to $80,000 just to live. Okay, so don't come here with just nothing and think you're just going to start with nothing. Yeah, people have done it, but it's very difficult. Don't just think you're going to come here and just get handouts left, right, and center. It doesn't work like that. So just remember that if you're going to come here. Our tourism's great, but it's extremely expensive. Our public transport is extremely expensive. Okay, so just remember those things. If you want to come here for a holiday, it's expensive to have a holiday here. I hope that helps everyone out. And to finish it off, I do have a second home, so I've got to add roughly another $6,000 to that. I don't rent it out. I don't negative gear it. I don't do anything. I own it outright. I've got to add another $6,000 just for the rates, for the electricity, for the water, for the insurance. So I'm looking at paying $30,000 a year before I do anything. Before I go out to the pub, buy myself a beer, go on a holiday. Yeah, so just remember that, guys. That gives you an idea on basic amenities and basic cost of living in New South Wales, Australia in 2026. I hope that helps people out. Really appreciate everyone hanging about and subscribing. If you haven't, please consider. All the best, and I will see you on the next one. There you go.